Story time. So we did, I think I did a video about this 1.4 turbo car. So the car got sent to me that said PO 2099 and thermostat heater. So I tell the used car dealer that it needs a turbo, needs oil, feed, coolant feed, and coolant return lines. It's a must. 4 lines, turbo. They go on Amazon and say, is this it? I was like, as long as it has all the fucking hoses in it, I don't care what it is. I'll put it on. So I get the kit. It doesn't have coolant hoses. In the meantime, the customers call me bitching and complaining, why is it not done? The vendors call me saying why it's not done. So now I got to rush my guys to get it done. So I said I want an OEM thermostat housing from dealer. So guess what I get? I get an AutoZone piece of shit. So now I've done enough of these cars, right, with aftermarket turbos and aftermarket thermostats and aftermarket water outlets and all the other shit that has a sensor in it. So then the guy shows up. I'm not going to say any names and say, hey, the customer's breaking my balls. Why isn't it done? Why isn't it done? We're working on it, dude. We're taking apart a 10-year-old, 12-year-old turbo. I don't have everything I need. And you give me an aftermarket thermostat, which is fucking complete garbage. So we're working on it. We get the job done. We bleed the cooling system out. Everything's working. Take it for a ride. Recheck it. Let it cool. Let it start again. Make sure that it doesn't burp. And they're a pain in the ass anyway. And they're all fucking head gasket prone. So who gives a fuck, right? So we take it for a road test, right? And we're in boost the whole time. Like, I'm measuring the boost to make sure that this aftermarket Amazon turbo, the wastegate's set properly so it doesn't come back with a under boost condition again. So then we verified that. Now mind you, we're beating the crap out of this car, driving it down the road to make sure that they have it set right, which they did, which is, I'm shocked because I've put on other turbos and never verified that the wastegate's holding it back enough to make the boost and it's back with the same code. And then I have to go back and make an adjustment and move on. So anyway, they have it towed back the other day and says it's overheating. And I was like, okay, well maybe it had another air bubble. I didn't see anything leaking anywhere. Start it up, let it run. I didn't even have to add any coolant to it. Let it run, let it run, let it run. All the hoses got hot, the fan cycled. Maybe it was just a little air bubble. Maybe they seen turbo burning off too. I don't really know. No codes. We drive it, we park it, we give the customer back the car. Here we go. It's back 4 or 5 days later. So I'm like, why is this car back here? And she's like, well, it's overheating again. I said, I don't give a fuck. Take it to the dealer. It probably has a bad head gasket. I don't know. I said, I didn't get any of the stuff that I wanted to make this car 100%. So what else am I supposed to do? If you asked for OEM parts and all the right parts to do the job and you don't get them, what else am I supposed to fucking do with this job load? And just wash my hands and say I'm done. Take it someplace else and then let them tell you to stop putting aftermarket parts on for certain things on cars because this shit doesn't work. Or maybe it works sometimes. So I swallow my pride. I grab the car, I bring it back. The coolant bottle is empty. It's obviously been overheating. And I said, let me scan it. And it says, cooling system, no flow. So I'm like, okay, well, no turbo code, no thermostat, heater code. Maybe it's got a bad thermostat. Maybe the water outlet's bad. Maybe the head gasket's bad. How about, I don't know, and I'm tired of chasing my tail with the wrong parts. When I do something, like I know I need a Denso sensor, I know I need an OEM thermostat from the dealer for these cars. But, you know, the dealers don't want to listen. They want cheap, cheap, cheap. And then he said, oh, I don't want any problems. Well, stop bringing me the garbage parts and we would have less problems. Don't rush me on jobs that have been there for fucking 4 days in my shop. I've had the part in my shop for 4 days. It came on a Wednesday. We started on a Saturday and finished it Monday. What do you know, the expectations are high. But your expectations are low. And this, what influenced this is another guy on my YouTube channel, thank you, that said, stop wasting your time with aftermarket parts and put OEM on and have less problems. You're 100% right, dude. 100% right. And some of the parts are only a little bit more money, like gas caps are a little bit more money, and purge valves and vent valves. I won't put on any aftermarket evap parts no more. Zero. If my parts, if my vendors bring me aftermarket shit, I won't even install it. Take that shit to somebody else, and you deal with the customer coming back 100 fucking times because it worked today, it didn't work today, it worked tomorrow, it didn't work out of the box. I'm done with that shit. I don't do it. It's OEM or nothing for evap now. It's Denso only for 99% of the O2 sensors I install because the garbage parts that are out there suck. And then they get pissed off at me. Well, here's a guy that's got 30-something years experience with vehicles, and you don't listen to what he says. Get me an OEM part. Get me this. Get me that. So then they get pissed off. And oh, hurry up, by the way. You're not getting it done fast enough. Insane. Like now we're getting parts for AC systems that come with no O-rings. I'd rather just call the fucking dealer and buy the part and buy the O-rings because I know it's all going to fit. It's just the aftermarket parts suck so bad. It's horrible. It's horrible. I don't know how anyone's fixing anything nowadays with aftermarket parts. Aftermarket brakes, that's okay. Rotors, calipers, timing chains, phasers, all that other stuff. Look at some of the top level guys are on my YouTube channel that talk about Dorman timing chain kits and this kit and that kit and how they all fucking suck and they have to do the job over and all this. Yeah, all those parts suck. And then these guys on YouTube's like, oh yeah, I'm putting on the Dorman this, that, and the other thing. Dorman's parts aren't that great. They are not. Some shit's okay and some's not. Sealed sway bar links and sealed lower control arm and ball joints, and dude, I see that shit back in 1 year, squeaking, knocking, I replaced more parts in 1 year that have no grease fittings than I ever have in my career recently. And it isn't because the customers are animals, it's because the parts are fucking garbage. Complete fucking garbage. And I just had someone tell me today, he's like, oh, I got a caliper on your account, it's bad. That's your fucking caliper. It isn't mine, dude. You bought it on my account with your money. Don't come to me and cry that. You wanted the privilege of getting it. Go to the fucking parts store and tell them it's bad. Why are you bothering me? I hate to be a fucking dickhead, but I don't give a fuck. I didn't buy it and make a profit and install it. You bought it from my parts house with your money, took it home and put it on your car. Not my problem, dude. Work it out. Parts. Aftermarket fuel pumps, fucking garbage. Aftermarket fuel level senders, garbage. I just can go on and on and on with the garbage parts that are out here. Parts that almost fit or sort of fit. And then we're the bad guy. Your mechanic's the bad guy when you can't make the car right with the garbage shit that they give you. And 80% of the aftermarket catalytic converters, if you don't know the right ones, are fucking garbage too. On top of the customers don't want to fix the oil consumption problem, or they don't know about the oil consumption, or they don't want to tune it up, or they don't want to do a carbon service, you know, and on and on and on. It's almost to the point I don't want to install anything aftermarket anymore unless I've used that product and I can trust it. And most of my exhaust parts that I do, I can trust that they work. Anything past that for a manifold converter, you're gambling. You are gambling. And you're asking a lot for an aftermarket manifold converter today if you're not tuning it up, if you're not fixing the oil consumption problem, if you're not fixing the bad injectors and O2 sensors and dirty throttle bodies. Every car I look at for a cat efficiency code, air filter's bad, throttle body's dirty, PCV hasn't been maintained, no fuel injections, no GDI services, no spark plugs. Everything that makes a catalytic converter fail, they do nothing with. But their mechanic said. Why does it need all that? Because that's what I say. That's why. Stop drinking water, see what happens to your body. Any idiot's gonna know that they're gonna dehydrate and die. See you guys.